Hey guys, this is Jonathan from Graveyard, and you're listening to Heavy New York.
What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are on the tour bus outside the legendary Apollo Theater, and we are here with Jonatan of Graveyard. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
It's so awesome to have you here. Your latest record, Peace, which came out in 2018. Now that it's been 2 years, we'll get this question out of the way. Could we be expecting some new Graveyard fairly soon?
Yeah, fairly soon. I mean, yeah, we're working. We just started working on new stuff, so it's we don't know when, but there will be a new record pretty soon. Hopefully, pretty soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, as somebody who listens to you, I could tell, like, if you played me, like, a small portion of a song that's off of Lights Out, that's off of Innocence and Decadence, that's off of the self-titled record. So it's fair to say that, like, you guys like to experiment with your sound and take a new approach to each album, right?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we never had I don't know. We never planned like for how the albums to come out. We just try to write songs that we like, and then we. We just there's a lot of non-preparing and non-planning in our work, I would say so. But it's nice to use, try different things, as you say. You have to, otherwise you'll just, get stagnated, or So it's we try to do at the same time as we just do whatever we enjoy. So it's always easy to end up doing like another song that sounds like sounds like that record, or that song on that record. So you always have to be careful about. You have to sometime you would have to listen to your own records, I think. Yeah, even though you never do it, but yeah.
Well, I figure maybe lack of preparation could almost make the songwriting process very organic, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we try to make the songs, like they should be, but it always turns out to, we always do adjustments and, in the studio. But usually we try to be decent, prepared to where the guys working with us not get annoyed, at least, So it's good. It's always a little room for improvisation and such. It's always nice, yeah.
The guitar soloing in your work I find very unique, and the riffing style. Is there maybe a theoretical element that you have that, like, what scale you're working off of or what chord, or is the guitar work also improvised as well?
yeah. It's I never, it's only improvised. Yeah, I never rarely learn I rarely play the same thing, ever. Sometimes people find that annoying, but I never really tried to do something exactly the way I did it on a recording or anything. Some solos are a little more like they were on the record, but very rare. I find it way more fun and interesting to go ahead with what you to be in the situation. Especially live, it's cool. Yeah.
One thing I was curious about is, in order to get inspired to write, do you kind of have to, does inspiration or an idea come out of nowhere, or do you and everybody else have to put yourself in a certain room or a certain element in order for the inspiration to come?
No, I mean, it's always there, I suppose, but it's we rarely write things on tour. I would say it's. I think all of us needs to be kind of focused, not with a lot of distractions around. So we mostly write at home and in the practice space, of course, when we meet up and try things out and jam on things and see how it feels. Yeah.
Here comes the most difficult question: how do you know when a song is done?
You never know.
I think you said that to me at Louder Than Life. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah, but sometimes you just feel like, okay. Because sometimes there's a lot of times you've been making a song that's very, or compared to a lot of songs, a long one, and then you realize it's completely like, I can just cut those parts off, and and you realize it didn't have to be so complicated somehow. But it's always hard to know when it's, you know, when it's done. You never know really. But you have to stop at a certain moment, because if you polish it too much, it just comes out like crap, I feel like. Yeah.
I think that's what I find very unique about the Graveyard sound. It's very technical, but it's also very raw. I think like it has nothing to hide, but it still leaves you wanting more.
All right, oh, that's nice. Yeah, yeah. We try to keep it organic, kind of.
When it comes to playing live, is there maybe a similar energy in playing live as when you're songwriting, or are they completely two separate arts altogether?
I think it's, of course, it's two different things, because you're not. I guess live, it's more of, because you know people are watching you. Like it's like, and sometimes you feel like you get a lot of energy from it, you know, in the crowd. If you see them happy, it's amazing. But sometimes you get the feeling of, especially when you play in your own hometown or whatever, you feel like people are standing and watching you, and kind of like, you know, we're not the whole, like, I don't know. It's very different. It's weird. I can't explain it, but it's very different, those two situations. But it's very, sometimes it's similar, because you know what you really don't know what you're doing. You know, it's just it's some kind of moment that's kind of the same playing, but otherwise it's completely different. There's so many more. I mean, it's live. It's very exciting, rather than relaxed, maybe, as in the studio. Yeah. But you get a lot of energy from it. So it's as you say, two different things. I can't really explain.
Is it maybe the fulfillment is the same? Like you walk out of the studio after a good day, the same way you walk off of a good performance?
Yeah, kind of. You know, if you feel like you're happy with it, it's like. It feels good, you know. It's I don't know. There's not much that beats the feeling of, you know, like, oh fuck, you know. It's felt this was fun, you know. It was good. We had a good, like, when you feel like the group is into that, you know. That's a special thing. Yeah. Makes you happy. Yeah.
When it comes to, like, you know, also going back to the live thing, I've noticed you played with like a variety of different bands. Like, you know, the last tour you were on here in the U.S., I think, was with the Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats tour, but you also tour with Clutch. You're playing with Opeth tonight, and, you know, Louder Than Life before Stained and Slipknot. Have you noticed maybe different types of audiences depending on the tours that you're on?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's always very different. But it's kind of, I like that a lot, you know, to see, and especially supporting bigger bands like this is, it's interesting, you know, because you don't know what to expect, and the crowd doesn't know what to expect always, you know. So it's, it's really, really fun to see the expressions while playing, you know. Yeah. Do they like it, or do they like? Because sometimes they expect something completely different. Yeah.
People hear Graveyard. Some people think of like death metal.
Yeah, like really heavy kind of. But then they're like, you know, you can see their confusion. But I think it's really, it's fun.
I think confusing an audience is. I think that's almost an accomplishment for a band in a way.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Especially with all the prog nerds that are going to be here for Opeth tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been good so far. It will be good again, I think. Yeah.
Now you guys are from Gothenburg, Sweden, right? So like you know, people hear metal in Gothenburg, immediately they think, oh, they must sound like At the Gates or The Haunted or In Flames or something like that. But definitely, like, I think with you guys, maybe Opeth or Cult of Luna or like Refuse, even, like, were you guys at all like involved in the Gothenburg scene, or did you prefer to go outside Sweden in order to get Graveyard's name out there?
Yeah, I mean, we came kind of, the Gothenburg sound has been around for so long, and we didn't, you know, we were never a part of that, I think. But as you say, some people, when they hear Graveyard, they think it's more of a metal band, which the Gothenburg sound, to me, it's more heavier, kind of, or, you know. So no, we never. We kind of been feeling like we're in between seats for a long time. Like because it's you know, we play a lot of different festivals and with different types of bands, pop, festivals or a lot of metal festivals, but we're still kind of like, we don't know. I mean, and it's good, you know, for us. We like it that way, so it's great. But it's always been a confusing.
Always the standout band on every festival. And you know what's funny is I know so many people who saw you at Louder Than Life who never listened to your band before, and they were telling me, like, I'm never going to forget that band now. So.
All right. Thanks. That's cool. Yeah.
So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time today. Really looking forward to seeing you play at the legendary Apollo Theater tonight. Is there just anything else that you would like to promote for Graveyard in terms of any upcoming shows, or even like maybe a time period when we could get some new Graveyard?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard because it's all like right now we're just working on a new album, so we don't know exactly when it will be out, but soon, you know, when we won't be taking that long. So and the shows, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm bad at that stuff, but come to the shows. It will be good. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jonatan. Everybody, Jonatan of Graveyard, pick up Peace if you haven't already. New stuff coming soon. We'll see you next time on Heavy New York.